Well met, Knights of the Order. This is Muscle and Magicka, and you, my friend, just accepted a quest. Apologies, I've been in bed for the past few days dealing with probably the worst cold I have ever had since, I think, Corpus disease in Morrowind. By the way, I tried going to the Temple of Kinnereth in Whiterun. The moment I walked up in there, they threw this thing at me and said, get the hell out. Alright? Healing magic is a science. We don't do miracles. Now get out. Bring that evil up in here. Anyway, that has meant that the next quest that I had planned is not yet ready. However, ever since the stress quest, I've been hearing from many of you who are either in the midst of or getting ready to enter into finals week. And I got this particular request from one such proud and loyal Knight of the Order last night on Instagram. Now, you've probably heard the conventional wisdom and the usual tips and tricks for studying for your finals. If you were to take a look at my finals week, back when I was in college, you would probably think that I was intentionally breaking every single rule in the book. I mean, I didn't study at all, I was up every single night playing World of Warcraft, I ate absolute trash for breakfast, and I drank energy drinks like it was my job. But the truth of the matter is, if you were to take a step back and look at the entire picture, you would see that I had been preparing for these exams the entire semester. Okay, I did my real studying the week before. I got nearly 8 hours of sleep every night. It's just that it wasn't in the night so much as in the morning and the afternoon. And then I scheduled my exams in the evening, and then from sunset to sunrise, World of Warcraft. And that's the important thing, and I'm not saying that you should do what I did. You probably shouldn't. But what I did is I made sure to schedule fun. I had fun scheduled throughout the entire process. Now, this being finals week for a lot of you, you're already in the thick of it, okay? It's too late for me to tell you to study a month in advance for an hour a day. It's too late for me to be giving you study tips. You're either prepared at this point or you aren't. If you're the kind of person who's been attentive in class, you've taken notes, you've done your homework regularly, you've studied for the test, you've studied for this exam, then relax, okay? You've got this. Don't psych yourself out, because it's not the test that's going to defeat you at this point. It's you got to worry about. But maybe you really and truly aren't prepared. Maybe you haven't been attentive and you haven't done the work that you should have, in which case, this is what I suggest that you do. And this isn't the spell, by the way. This is just a in-game mechanic that anybody can make use of. I suggest you stop, just pause the game, take a quick inventory of yourself, look at your character, look at your health bar, and ask yourself, am I okay? And I think if you're really honest with yourself, the answer is going to be yes. Okay, you're not bleeding to death, you're not in prison, you don't have cancer, unless you do, in which case, you know, been there, done that, inbox me if you wish. But my point is this, let's say worst case scenario, this is not what's going to happen, this is the worst case scenario. Let's say you fail the test, you fail the class, and you have to take the entire class over again next semester. You know what? The world actually has not ended at this point. Believe it or not, you will continue to live, you will continue to move forward, and good things will continue to come to you for the duration of your life, okay? And the amount of time that's going to pass before you say to yourself, that actually wasn't such a big deal in retrospect, it's probably shorter than you think. And in fact, I can think of numerous occasions in my life when I was woefully unprepared, and I hadn't been attentive, and I hadn't done the work, and I fell short, and I screwed up, and it sucked for a minute. But you know what? It ended up being much, much, much better for me down the line than had I lucked out and eked by and not been forced to learn anything and change and grow due to the situation. So just remember that anytime you actually have the capacity to stop and ask yourself, am I okay in this moment? Chances are the answer is yes. Okay, you're gonna be alright. You are going to be fine. Now, I was going to save this for a future quest, but let me go ahead and teach you this quick stress reduction spell, which I think you're going to find helpful if you're studying for finals or taking finals or just stressed out about the holiday season or whatever else the case may be. This tends to work best if you can do it lying flat on your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor, or up in a chair or something like that. One hand on your chest, one hand on your diaphragm. You don't have to do the hand thing if you don't want to, but it's important with this type of breathing spell that you practice diaphragmatic breathing rather than chest breathing, and using your hands can help you to physically confirm that it is in fact your diaphragm that's expanding and not your chest. All you're going to do is this. Close your mouth, tongue on the roof of your mouth, breathe in through your nose for a count of 5, Once your diaphragm is fully extended, hold for a moment, and then exhale for a count of 10. You can also do 3 and 6 if 5 and 10 seems a little bit too much to start off with, but the important thing is that you're exhaling for twice as long as you're inhaling. And in order to achieve that, it's helpful if you don't just blow the air out, but rather kind of like that. Make it more of a sighing technique, if you will. I would do the whole thing with you right now, except that my nose is blocked off and I'd probably pass out. Once you pushed all the air out and you felt your abs contract at the end of the movement, hold for a second and then repeat the entire process for a total of 10 breaths. Now, I realize this may sound like some hippie bro magic voodoo, but I assure you it is not. What we are doing, in essence, in teaching ourselves to use our diaphragms more when we breathe, is we're helping our body to shift from that sympathetic, excited, fight or flight state into a more parasympathetic, relaxed state, where blood pressure and heart rate are decreased. Okay? Muscle tension is decreased. Concentration and confidence are increased. So I recommend you do this twice a day, a minimum of 10 breaths per time, once before bed and then once any other time during the day when you're feeling particularly stressed. And ultimately, the goal is that you practice this often enough that it becomes second nature. Now, before I let you go, I would like to impart upon you some powerful buffs. As Archpaladin and Guildmaster of the Order of Muscle and Magicka, may Audiel grant you wisdom, the same wisdom he displayed as he ascended to Aetherius at the foot of the Adamantine Tower. May Trinimac grant you strength, the same strength he displayed as he ripped out Lorkhan's heart. And may Fenaster grant you endurance, the same endurance he showed to the Altmeri people when he taught them how to live an extra 100 lives simply by taking shorter steps. As you enter into your next final exam or whatever battle life happens to be throwing your way at this moment, may you bring honor not only to yourself, bring honor not only to the Order of Muscle and Magicka, but honor the memory of Grom Hellscream, who fought and gave his life that all orcs may be free. Godspeed, knights.
Effort, but futile. The boy believed you could be saved, but he didn't know what burns within your soul. Within your heart, you know we are the same. Thrall, the blood haze has lifted. The demon's fire has burnt out in my veins. I have freed myself. No, old friend. You freed us all.